The second Saturday in October, the autumnal hues cascade across Evanston, Illinois. Folks, you're watching college football presented by Walmart. And it's homecoming here at Northwestern University. And it takes on a special meaning for today's coaches. It was once said, as truth be told, homecoming never gets old. Why come back? Homes are welcoming. Home is where the heart is. But sometimes home is where the hard is. Homecoming can be a place of familiarity. Yet, coming home can provide difficulty. Either familiarity or difficulty. Sometimes the road home provides quite the story to tell.
In my opinion, we look like one of the most undisciplined teams in the country, and it kills me.
I don't think anything in the past makes you think you can do anything in the future. I think you have to work at it.
We've been really close a bunch of times.
We don't have to worry about anything other than ourselves. If we just keep working and keep grinding, they'll get better.
The whole attitude of everybody around here, I feel like we finally turned the corner.
And Molly has more on the view on building from the bottom up. Molly?
Well, Mark, Pat Fitzgerald knows how challenging it is to take over a program, and he told us, if I'm Scott Frost, this is what I'm telling my players. I chose to be your coach. You didn't choose me, so give me 1% of your trust, and I will earn the other 99%. And I spoke with multiple Nebraska players this week. They all said the same thing. We trust Coach Frost. We now understand the culture he wants to instill, and we will do anything for him. And 3 different players even used the phrase, I would run through a brick wall for him. I covered Frost's undefeated UCF team last year. All of his players there said the same exact thing, Mike.
Yeah, well, it worked at UCF. He was 0-12 in 2015 and 13-0 last year. And we are underway. Nebraska will receive. Maurice Washington will take a knee. It'll come out 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Cornhuskers. Mark Jones chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak. Molly downstairs. It's homecoming, and a homecoming for you too, right?
Back in the shop, my old stomping grounds, Jonesy.
Still got the keys to this city, folks. Hey, when we talk about the Nebraska Cornhuskers, sometimes it's just about winning. It's simple, right?
Got to find a way to get a win. 0-5. This program, this illustrious program, has never been 0-6 before. These players need it to feel some confidence, to get those bad feelings away. And for Northwestern, 2-3 this season, they have not won a game yet at home. And they told us all week, we must protect this house.
That has been the message all week for Coach Fitzgerald and his crew. 1st and 10. Here's Martinez firing on 1st down, complete to Cade Warner. Warner is brought down at the 25-yard line. Second down and 10. Big game in so many ways for the Cornhuskers. They run it here. This is the tailback, Zigbo, in the open field, all the way down to the 42-yard line. And a big run for Nebraska of 33 yards on their first rush.
Outstanding block outside by Brendan Hymas. You're going to see him pull around, get out in front, set that hard edge. And Ozigbo does the rest. Big physical running back. He gets to the perimeter and out in the open field for a big pickup.
Zigbo again between the tackles. Got about a yard on the play. This is a huge game for Nebraska, folks. No other way to say it. They have never started 0-6 in program history. Over 122 years of football in Lincoln, Nebraska. 129 seasons. So a dubious beginning so far at 0-5 for Scott Frost in his first year on the sidelines. Martinez, a little play fake, open, Spielman, got it, touchdown Huskers. That's how you start a game.
And J.D. Spielman has been electric the last couple of football games. Really does an outstanding job in the open space. He gets open in the middle of the field. Good read by Adrian Martinez, finds his open target, puts it out in front where he can run after the catch. J.D. Spielman, so difficult to deal with once he gets the football in his hands. Dynamic playmaker for this Husker offense.
He was a freshman All-America last year. Martinez with his 6th touchdown pass of the season. And Nebraska off to a fantastic start here. In just a few plays, they march it into the end zone. And for Spielman, this is his 6th touchdown catch of the year, too.
Play action pass. See Spielman work right over the middle. As soon as he crosses Patty Fisher, the linebacker, see Adrian Martinez throw him open. It's exactly what we talked yesterday with Troy Walters, Nebraska offensive coordinator, said we've got to get our quarterback going early. We've got to hit some explosive plays. Check both those boxes on the opening drive.
And then it becomes infectious. Winning habits, positive results, building momentum, all important for Nebraska moving forward. This will come out to the 35-yard line. That's where Clayton Thorsen will take over. Had a good week passing the ball last week, which was about their only option when you consider the state of their running game right now. He threw for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns last week in that win at East Lansing. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 35. Senior quarterback ready to fire. Plenty of time. Completes it at midfield. Flags all over the field. That was Flynn Nagel, his favorite target.
It's going to be either pass interference or a hold. Antonio Reed wrapped up Flynn Nagel, but still Nagel still able to make the catch.
Pass interference. Defense, number 25. That penalty decline. Result of the play, 1st down.
That's going to go against Antonio Reed. Nonetheless, a 19-yard gain on the catch.
Good protection up front by the Northwestern offensive line. Plenty of time for Clayton Thorsen to deliver that pass.
This one complete out of the backfield to Solomon Vault. Vault run out of bounds. A couple of passes already for Northwestern. Last week had a tough time running the football against a very staunch and stout Michigan State defense. 2nd and 11 on the loss of 1. This is Vault again. And Vault is going to be brought down right near the line of scrimmage. Akinmuladun. Freedom Akinmuladun making the tackle, the 6'4" senior. No gain.
Nice job running by Dedrick Young. Getting outside. See Freedom inside. Look at Young run to the football. Quality job getting to the sidelines, forcing Vault back in to his defensive linemen that are running after in pursuit.
3rd and long. Thorsen has a man. Incomplete. He underthrew his receiver, Riley Lees. Lamar Jackson actually tipped the ball, but it's incomplete. And 4th down coming up for Northwestern.
That's a throw that the senior quarterback, Clayton Thorsen, has to make. He's got plenty of time, good protection up front, and he's got an open target down the field, and the ball is underthrown. Nice job by Lamar Jackson to get a hand on it, but that should have been a touchdown. Fantastic protection. He steps into the throw, and the ball just underthrown.
Colvin's punting to Spielman. Collins punting. Spielman with a fair catch at the 22-yard line. 1st down and 10 from there for Nebraska. Off to a good start here in the 1st quarter. Coming into the game at 0-5. They've never been 0-6 in program history. But back to the Fitz-Carlton, as they call it here in Evanston, folks.
Or the Fitz-Mahal.
Yes.
Back here in Evanston, Nebraska is up and Scott Frost is fired up here, but disappointing for him, his versatile back, Maurice Washington, is in visible pain. His medical training staff are looking at his left hand. He had a hard time closing it into a fist. A couple players checked on him and said, "We need you," and he just shook his head, guys.
Well, he's a big part of what they do offensively. That pass is complete to Stanley Morgan Jr. Hardage making the tackle on the play. He was off to a good start, Washington was.
Versatility is the key, right? Because he can play receiver, he can play running back, makes guys miss, kind of gives you a different element than what you get with a Zigbo, and they wanted his role to continue to grow. So if he can't come back, that changes a little bit of what Nebraska wants to be able to do.
Martinez complete out of the backfield. That Spielman made a great move to make a tackle of this and ends up about 3 yards short of the 1st down. Take one more look at where Washington was shaken up. It was right after that play. He came off the field holding his hand. 3rd and 3 for the Cornhuskers.
Northwestern barely able to get the proper personnel in the field as Nebraska changed personnel, as did the Northwestern defense.
Martinez completes it out of the backfield. Great open field tackle by Hardage. He chopped down Ozigbo. A gain of 1, but it's 4th down and a couple coming up, and Ozigbo getting up slowly.
Excellent job. Zone coverage for the Northwestern Wildcats. And Montre Hardage, the senior, coming off his best game of the year last week against Michigan State, comes up. Excellent open field tackle to get his defense once again off the field. We're seeing good tackling in open space here early on, Jonesy.
And after the punt by Armstrong, Lee's back there, watches it bounce, and it dribbles all the way out of bounds to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for Northwestern, still trying to get some semblance of offense. Thorsen to the sideline. They're going to rule it complete to Jefferson. Here's a look at the standings up to date in the Big Ten.
As we mentioned, Northwestern 2-3, but they're 2-1 in conference play, so still very much in the race. Iowa very much in the race in that western side. On the other side, boy, it's tough sledding in the East. Ohio State, Michigan playing great football, and Penn State.
Thorsen on the quick slant, complete. That's his favorite target, number 2, Flynn Nagel. Check that. Pullman, an 11-yard gain on the play.
Excellent read by Clayton Thorsen. RPO. He fires a strike to his slot receiver for a nice 1st down.
They fake the jet sweep and go straight ahead between the tackles. And a nice gain by Moten. Picked up about 8 on the play.
Changing personnel groupings for Northwestern. They've been spreading out in Nebraska quite a bit. Now 2 tight ends in the game, and they go more of a power football between the tackles. Not had a ton of success running the football, especially since the loss of their stud Jeremy Larkin a few weeks ago.
That was a huge blow. Nice cutback move there by Moten, and he picks up the 1st down. Let's go back to Larkin. Jeremy Larkin had to retire because of a neck injury. Spinal stenosis, which technically is a narrowing of the spinal column, and it was interesting how quickly that happened. He was complaining of stingers in both shoulders, saw the team doctors, and they quickly diagnosed it, thankfully for him.
Now it's Coach Larkin.
Yes.
Picked up the whistle and took off the pads.
30 seconds to go. Moten again. Well, this was the headline. Retiring from football effective immediately due to a recent diagnosis of cervical stenosis. Not a life-threatening condition, but prevents him from participating in football.
You know what I thought was so impressive when we talked to starting right guard Tommy Doles. He said, you know what made it easy to deal with is that Larkin came to them and he said, guys,
this is the end of the 1st quarter.
He said, guys, I'm going to be just fine. You know, this is just football. I've got a lot better things in life to look forward to, and that helped the entire team be at ease with the loss of their star running back.
That's the end of the 1st. More from Evanston after these message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, as we honor those who serve, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Yeah, that was the scene prior to the game. Pre-game, John Hart parachuted into Ryan Field before the game, delivering the game ball. He's a retired U.S. Army Special Forces Master Sergeant of 22 years from Cincinnati with over 19,000 skydives. What a great scene prior to the game. Moten picks up the 1st down. Back to Thorsen. You know, his father, Chad, played linebacker for the New York Giants at Wheaton College collegiately, where his 2 brothers also played. Now, his neighbor, Kent Graham, played, of course, at Notre Dame and Ohio State and in the NFL for 10 years, so he always had a great role model growing up. Graham would watch film with him a lot of times, watch different NFL quarterbacks as early as the 7th grade. Thorsen almost intercepted that time at the 7 against Cam Taylor.
Patriots-Chiefs game. It's going to be a good one Sunday night.
On the handoff, this is Vault. And Vault picks up 2 yards down to the 20-yard line. This is a little bit of a different start for Northwestern. They've had faster starts in some of their previous games and then tended, unfortunately for Coach Fitzgerald, to falter in the second half of some games. Had some third quarter and fourth quarter issues.
Trying to strike a balance here in the first half, running the football, throwing it. Big 3rd and 8 here for this offense. Watch for Nagel in the slot down low.
Those fans you hear making noise are Nebraska fans. That'll keep them quiet. Touchdown, Nagel. Big Red Nation has nothing to say after that touchdown catch by Flynn Nagel.
He was lost in coverage. The Nebraska defense can't lose Flynn Nagel on a 3rd and 8. You know that's where Clayton Thorsen wants to go to first. He's wide open. Nice passing catch for the touchdown.
The extra point good. And on homecoming, we're tied at 7 apiece with 7:41 to go in the first half. Man, I'll take 2 scoops. You know, according to some, the ice cream sundae was named in Evanston, Illinois at Garwood's drugstore. In the late 1800s, Evanston passed a law banning sodas on Sundays. To absolve the sin of sipping an ice cream soda on Sunday, the ice cream and syrup were served without the soda. The name was changed to Sunday because Sunday soda was considered sacrilegious. And on his feet still, Washington back after that hand injury with a nice return. Nowhere to go for Martinez. He did well just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, this Northwestern defense has really settled in from that opening drive. Opening drive, Nebraska goes 75 yards in 4 plays. They had chunk plays of 33 and 42. Since then, it's 111 yards on 25 plays. Again, really settled in. I think some quality defense for the majority of this first half.
Play clock at 10. Martinez into traffic and incomplete. Double coverage there on J.D. Spielman. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Martinez. Scott Frost said that during bowl prep last year when he was still with UCF, he flew to Nebraska when he got wind of the fact that Martinez had decommitted from Tennessee. Flew from Nebraska to Fresno to meet with the quarterback and his parents. Came back in time for the next bowl practice, and he had in the process gotten a commitment from Martinez. That was a trip well worthwhile for the head coach. He's got Martinez there for years to come. And he fumbles it, got drilled from behind. It's loose. Scooped up and scored. Brown with the hit. Williams with the big hit. And Brown collected the ball.
Well, Hank Woods, the defensive coordinator.
On the field as a fumble recovered by the defense for a touchdown.
Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for Northwestern, he's going to dial up a blitz. He's going to bring Trey Williams. You'll see the corner walked up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to come inside. Nebraska doesn't pick it up. And a big hit on Taylor Martinez as he still has the football. That is a fumble, and the scoop and score by Ernest Brown. Dialing up the pressure, it gets home, and a huge game-changing play for Northwestern.
Mike Hankwitz has been around football for a long time. Several different schools. They're going to kick the extra point. The touchdown will stand on the scoop and score. And pointing out the fact that his defense has only given up more than 21 points once this year.
I really don't put that on. Oh, yeah, that ball's out.
That's a fumble.
It goes backwards, no doubt. Big time hit by Trey Williams. You know, when you get a clean shot like that, you don't just want to get the sack. You want to get the ball out. Create a takeaway, create a turnover, and then obviously just a cherry on top when you can scoop it and take it to the end zone.
There were a whole bunch of Northwestern players around that ball. Little convoy into the end zone.
Not as easy as you think either to scoop that thing so gracefully as Ernest Brown did. I can tell you, big guys, we kick it, we bobble it.
Like fielding a grounder, huh?
Graceful job scooping that thing and taking it to the end zone.
3:01 to go in the first half. Northwestern with a 7-point lead. This is Maurice Washington. Got around the corner. And ran out of real estate, out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And now we see how Adrian Martinez rebounds from that adversary.
Turnovers have really plagued this football team all season long. Turning over too much and not taking it away enough. Turnover margin, obviously the #1 stat in all of football. You win that, you're going to have a good opportunity to win games. Costly turnover by the young quarterback here early in this football game.
Facing a little adversity, a Zigbo on the handoff. Broken tackle makes it out to the 22-yard line. Miller making the tackle on the play.
I think Troy Walters told us, though, is that, even whenever adversity hits, Adrian Martinez is good as anybody about being cool, calm, collected, showing excellent poise.
There he is, fires complete, but that's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Mike Williams making the catch on the play, a pickup of 4. Coming up, the State Farm halftime report. Cassidy Hubbard in the studio. Check that. Kevin Agandi in the studio. Jonathan Vilma and the coach. Martinez keeps it and just got enough, it looks like, for the first down, depending on the spot. Martinez keeping the drive alive with a little under 2 minutes to go. Yeah, Cassidy not doing the halftime show. Cassidy was magna cum laude, I think.
Is that right?
Northwestern.
I think you're just trying to get some brownie points at this point.
Well,
come on, Jonesy.
She was upset that I wasn't happy with her singing up the alma mater earlier. Martinez with the sidestep move. Finds his receiver Williams in a nice play. Wonderful resourcefulness. Takes Nebraska into Northwestern territory.
Sometimes you got to be a playmaker. Gallagher comes clean off the edge. He loses contain, comes inside. That's Adrian Martinez just being a playmaker. Buy some time. Lets his receiver get up the field and make something out of nothing. Excellent job by the freshman quarterback.
Still plenty of time. Martinez gets rid of it quickly again to Williams. Williams picks up another Nebraska first down. And they're on the fringes of field goal range now for Barrett Pickering, their place kicker. 13-yard gain on the play. Been a quiet afternoon so far for Stanley Morgan Jr., one of their leading receivers. Spielman has their only touchdown. There's Morgan up top. They run it into the boundary, though, with Spielman. They move him around a lot to get him the football down to the 30, Dusty. And now with 1:03 to go, a timeout called by the Huskers.
Timeout, Nebraska. Their first charge, 30 seconds in length.
They're smart with Spielman, right? Because he's such a dynamic playmaker.
The pass complete to a Zigbo. Got a nice block out in front of him. And all the way down to the 12-yard line. Another Nebraska first down.
Got to get out of bounds if you're a Zigbo. You got to understand that, exactly where the clock's at. He could have easily stepped out. Now they got to go fast.
Martinez hands it off again. A gaping hole. Touchdown, Nebraska. Boy, did that work out well.
Well, that's why he didn't step out. Right?
Had it planned the whole time, partner.
Outstanding job on the interior of the offensive line for Nebraska. Tanner Farmer, Gerald Foster, Bo Wilson opening up a gaping hole for a Zigbo.
A Zigbo with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. 13th of his career. Derek Pickering with the extra point, and he missed it. He shanked it to the right. So the true freshman with a rare miss.
See how Scott Frost reacts to this.
He's walking the Green Mile over to Scott Frost.
Man.
Scott Frost wants to bring those glory days back. He's had people like Jason Peter, Mike Rucker, Grant Wistrom all come in and speak with the team. Looking for their first win of the season, trailing by 1. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. This was what it looked like for Scott Frost after that missed extra point. Past the Excedrin. It has been a very trying year so far, but he likes to tell us addition by subtraction sometimes. The guys that are there now, he feels, have turned the corner because the players that weren't buying in have left.
He's got players holding other players accountable now. They said Purdue was that turning point.
Thorsen over the middle, complete. Out to the 33-yard line. Skoranek making the ground. They got 3 timeouts remaining with 32 seconds to go.
Time coming off the clock here. Got to go fast.
Thorsen again, complete. That's Moulton out of the backfield. Got enough for the first down. Picked up 4 on the play. 18 seconds to go. They got to keep it moving. The clock is rolling, and Fitz is going to concede.
That's a little surprising. Senior quarterback, big arm. You got Flynn Nagel's having a heck of a day. You've had some success in the second quarter throwing the football.
The first half.
I don't know, man. I mean, what are you going to do with those timeouts? Take them home with you?
Can't cash them in for much. That's the end of the first half. We're going to go back to the studio and the State Farm halftime report. Kevin, Mac, Jonathan, after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back, everyone, to college football presented by Walmart. Here from Evanston, Illinois. Nebraska trailing by a point, and you know the Wildcats head coach Fitzgerald has a lot of fans at the worldwide leader.
In a sport where the word loyalty has no place whatsoever, Pat Fitzgerald stands out like purple royalty.
I was a student broadcaster when Pat was there for the '96 season, and he was a go-getter. He was in on every tackle.
The face of our school is football coach Pat Fitzgerald, and there is absolutely no one who better represents what Northwestern University athletics stand for.
He is a class act. He embodies Northwestern.
Coach Pat Fitzgerald is a Wildcat. Fast offenses, good defenses for as long as we can keep them.
Randy Scott saying, for as long as we can keep him. Well, Jim Phillips, the athletic director here at Northwestern, has Coach Fitz under lock for that 10-year deal that he recently signed. Good move for them.
It's a smart move by them. Pat Fitzgerald is a fantastic football coach. I love his passion, his energy, and he's real. I mean, one of the more likable college football coaches you'll find anywhere in the country.
Yeah, he sells the city of Chicago and this school as well as anybody does. Bolt on the run as we take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by Charles Schwab. A couple of touchdowns for Nebraska in the first half. The first one coming on the opening drive of the ball game by J.D. Spielman, and then a late scoop and score by Northwestern to take the lead. They're up by 1. Thorsen fires complete to 84. Cameron Green bringing about 3 yards shy of the first down.
One thing a bit concerning, Northwestern still not able to run the football. Just 22 yards rushing on 13 carries in the first half. And Pat Fitzgerald and his staff told us that a huge point of emphasis was for the offensive line, to really win the line of scrimmage and get this rushing attack going. We have not done that whatsoever to this point.
3rd and 3. Thorsen just got rid of it, completes it for the first down. Out to the 41, Cameron Green with a nice catch. Well, the ESPN app now with ESPN Plus. You can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. So start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. Out to the 41-yard line, 1st down and 10 on the 14-yard gain. Little pressure coming by Nebraska. They didn't get there in time, but forcing the incompletion. Luke Gifford there covering Cameron Green.
Cameron Green's really become, aside from Flynn Nagel, the number 2 option for Clayton Thorsen. Former wide receiver, turned to tight end. Plays a lot of snaps for these guys and has a good knack for being able to get open in those intermediate throws for Mr. Thorsen.
19 to 24, pretty impressive stats. But just 1 offensive touchdown in the first half. Off his back foot, wide open and incomplete at the 25-yard line. Kyrick McGowan couldn't squeeze it.
Big hit delivered by Khalil Davis. Beats the offensive line, gets a nice hit on Clayton Thorsen, but Clayton Thorsen holds on to it and delivers a nice pass down the field, just out past the outstretched arms of Kyrick McGowan. Guy who had a 77-yard touchdown a week ago, a vertical threat. Like to see him come down with that football. Missed opportunity for the Northwestern offense.
3rd and 10. Another pressure coming. This ball might have been tipped, complete at midfield, and now down to the 42. Lees with the 1st down for Northwestern at the 41. An 18-yard pass and catch.
Long throw for Clayton Thorsen. Far hash all the way to the sidelines. Watch the control on the sidelines by Lees. Stays up, good balance, stays in bounds to get enough to move the chains.
Comes out slinging again. Thorsen taking a deep shot and intercepted at the 3-yard line by Antonio Reed. He tried to hit Holman on the play, but Reed came in and flew through the air for the pick.
Clayton Thorsen never saw the deep safety. Antonio Reed going to be playing up top. Never saw him.
That's the 3rd interception of the season for Nebraska.
A deep safety over the top. He just plays center field. Gets an easy interception. Clayton Thorsen thought he had man-to-man coverage. And a very acrobatic and athletic interception.
1st and 10 from the 3-yard line for Adrian Martinez. Divine Ozigbo in the backfield. Ozigbo on the carry, out to the 6, picks up 3.
Well, guys, Nebraska head coach Scott Frost very encouraged by the performance of his freshman quarterback Adrian Martinez in the first half. He said he's doing everything we need him to do for us to win. Very encouraged by his response to that sack fumble. We just need to be more efficient on offense. Also, Stanley Morgan Jr. hasn't been as involved. He said they're moving their best corner on top of him. We need to get creative and open.
Only that time they used Jack Stoll, the tight end. Yeah, Morgan Jr. is one of their top targets. Had 25 catches coming into the game this afternoon.
Montre Hardage, 24, is that top cornerback for Northwestern that Molly was alluding to. They still got to find a way to get him touches, though, Jonesy.
Zigbo zigging and zagging out to the 20-yard line. What do you do to get Morgan Jr. open? Is it moving him around? Is it that simple?
Motion, move him around. If they're going to go man-to-man coverage and he's going to follow him all over the field, move him around. Just try to create, some way that Hardage can't stay with him. Snap the ball while he's still in motion. Let him get up the field.
Morgan Jr., a native of New Orleans. He's thinking about coming out after last season. Decided to return for some unfinished business at Nebraska. Martinez incomplete for Ozigbo at the 19-yard line. Good pressure by Jordan Thompson, number 99. He was right up in Martinez's grill. And 3rd and long coming up now for Nebraska.
Thompson working on Matt Farniok, the right tackle. Quality pressure to get the ball out of Martinez's hands before he wanted to.
Oregon is split into the boundary. Bottom of the screen.
Also put him in the slot.
Spielman, another one of Martinez's favorite targets. Martinez, though, got his giddy up on and picks up the first down. A sprint out to the 33-yard line for the true freshman. 18 years old. Didn't even play because of injury in his senior year in high school. They picked up 12 yards there.
Spread the field. Defenders spread out. There's a lot of green grass in the middle.
All day on the post. And completed the 43-yard line to Morgan Jr. So finally, Dusty, they got the ball to him.
Sometimes you just got to put the ball up and let your playmakers go make plays. I know Montre Hardinge is on him, but Stanley Morgan, one of the better wide receivers in the Big Ten, hits him on a post route, man-to-man coverage. Stanley Morgan said, I got you on this one. Nice throw and catch.
26 yards on the pickup. Martinez on a predetermined run. Got a great block and tripped up at the 40-yard line by Hardinge. Boy, Montre Hardinge just played a pretty nice game on the corner. Number 24 right there for the Wildcats.
Shut down corner. They'll play cat coverage. Put him on the opposing team's best receiver and let him run with him all throughout the afternoon.
I'll tell you what, on a day like this, a cool day, he won't be cramping up like he did last week at Michigan State. Nice block on the edge. The pass complete. And all the way down to the 27-yard line is J.D. Spielman. Spielman picks up the first down.
Continue to be creative. Work Spielman out of the backfield. Throw a swing screen to him outside. You'll see Northwestern loses contain. They got two defenders outside. Fights inside the block. And they allow Spielman to get to the perimeter and utilize his speed.
Martinez keeps it. And tackled at about the 21-yard line. Martinez had a play last week in that game against Wisconsin, similar to that, but closer to the end zone, where he simply made a move and outran the defender into the end zone to score the touchdown.
Speed, dynamic player with the football in his hands.
2nd and 4. Ozigbo down to the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Gallagher making the tackle. Homecoming weekend here in Evanston, Illinois. The alumni looking to see the home team's first home win of the season. They've won twice on the road this year, but not at home.
Like a run with the quarterback read option.
Martinez pulls it out and passes to Spielman complete. Let's see where they spot this. They're going to give him the first down. At about the 16-yard lines on the 4-yard gain by Spielman, who, according to the coaches, has had the best season of all the wide receivers so far. They go quick. Ozigbo stays on his feet and makes it down to the 11-yard line. Took the hit from Trent Goins and picked up 5.
Trent Goins missed the tackle at the line of scrimmage. We've seen Ozigbo make a lot of Northwestern defenders miss here today.
Gets another opportunity. Great sidestep. Oh, hit him with the sauce. Ozigbo stretching, reaching, and short of the end zone. Patty Fisher tripped him up, but a 10-yard gain.
Well, they told us, and I was watching the tape, Ozigbo doesn't make people miss. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Jump cut. Make you miss here. A little stutter step. Making several Northwestern defenders miss.
That's exactly what they do. And touchdown, Ozigbo. He earned it. Took it to his right, ever so slightly. And Nebraska taking the lead.
They went tackle over. They moved Brendan Hymas from the left tackle over to the right. They put Jack Stoll, the tight end, in at left tackle. So you have an overload to the right. We've seen how physical and elusive Ozigbo's been today. Clearly, the senior 235-pound running back was going to get his opportunity to hit pay dirt.
And that ties Ozigbo's career high with a couple of touchdowns in a game. Pickering missed a field goal a moment ago, but knocks through the extra point. Actually missed an extra point, and Scott Frost happy about the result that time. Homecoming weekend, and Pat Fitzgerald and Scott Frost looking for that W. Back after this. And welcome back, everyone. You're watching college football presented by Walmart. 20-14, Nebraska taking a lead a moment ago. Mark Jones chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak and Holland McGrath down on the sidelines with a benevolent sky spattering down on a pristine field on a perfect Saturday afternoon for college football from the 13-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 7:07 to go in the third. They're going to run it with Moten. Moten picked up about 3 yards. What do you make of that Washington-Oregon game is going to be fine?
Well, Oregon, you know, coming off a bye week, right? So they're going to be well-rested, well-prepared. I think Justin Herbert is spinning it right now as good as anybody in college football. He's going to have a big day. I think Washington, too complete a football team. Defensively, run it with a veteran quarterback. I'll take the Huskies on the road. That's going to be a heck of a game in Eugene.
Yeah, I love the way Washington is playing right now. Thorsen under duress and sacked back at the 13-yard line. Good heat up front by Mohamed Berry. Guy who coaches say absolutely loves football.
Mo Berry, the leader of this defense. You're going to see him bring him on a blitz. And he's going to get home and get clean. Outstanding blitzer, times it up, works a round vault. The running back forces him up for his fellow defenders to get the sack.
Leads the team with tackles coming to the ball game today. 3rd and 9. Thorsen got away from heat and forced to throw it away, incomplete at the 25-yard line. More pressure this time from Luke Gifford.
Luke Gifford's breaking out the pass rush moves today. Watch this spin move. He hits inside. Unable to get the quarterback down, but he hits him with a spin. Little okey-doke. He's going to come inside. Woo. Nice spin move. That's what forced Clayton Thorsen to move off his spot, forced him to get a little uncomfortable and get that ball out of his hand. Not a sack, but a big-time pressure.
What great footwork there by Gifford, the senior. Here's Spielman. Flag down on the field. Spielman with a little bit of room. And still on his feet, finally tackled at the 32-yard line. Flag back at the 42, though. As we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Some of the pertinent points in the ball game so far. Boy, Nebraska racking up the yardage like they did, albeit in a loss against Wisconsin.
You know, Northwestern obviously with 2 touchdowns, but one of those a defensive touchdown. So Nebraska defensively has really stepped up, playing their best game of the season at this point.
Ozigbo got through the initial wave of tacklers, cuts it back. Ozigbo into Wildcat territory, still on his feet. Unrelenting and unstopping. Ozigbo with a 37-yard gallop.
Ozigbo, it's been a heck of an afternoon for him. This offensive line blocking. Hits the whole downhill, little zig, little zag. It's all about Zigbo here this afternoon.
I'm not listening to Troy Walters anymore about getting just 5. Put 5 on it. I put a lot more on it.
This is the end of the third quarter.
3 quarters in the books. 15 minutes to play here in Evanston. And the question begs on homecoming, how much grit and determination and heart do the Wildcats have left going into the final quarter? More from Evanston after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back, everyone, to Evanston. You're watching the Big Ten on ABC. It's homecoming weekend here in Evanston on the 2nd Saturday of October. Ozigbo has been eviscerating this Northwestern defense in the second half. That offensive line clearing the way on another impressive run, and this was the scene, Dusty, during the break.
Things are going right. Smiles are on people's faces. A little dancing, laughing. This offensive line in Nebraska has really imposed their will on the front for Northwestern this afternoon.
21-yard gain on the last play. Ozigbo this time picks up 3. You saw the look on Coach Frost's face. What does a win do for this team right now?
We talked with Eric Shenander, the defensive coordinator, and he said a win makes everything go away, even for just a day. Makes the kids feel good, walk around with your chest puffed out. He said these kids, they need to feel that, and they're 14 minutes and change away from having that feeling.
Maurice Washington back in the ball game. The trips left formation. Washington in the backfield gets the call, sprinting through the hole, And inside the 5-yard line to the 3.
Nice little 1-2 combination, right? A Zigbo, even though he's more of the thunder, he's got a little shake to him, but Washington, man, he'll make you miss, and he's got that speed in the open field.
And he's going to use it here, getting to the edge. There's the Lightning. Touchdown, Nebraska. Washington with his first rushing touchdown of the season. The impressive freshman from Stockton, California. And they're going to go for 2 right now, it looks like.
The balance of this Husker offense today has been unbelievably impressive. Getting it done on the ground, through the air. However you want it, they're getting it done today.
It's a little surprising to see Coach Frost smiling so much on the sidelines a moment ago.
Watch Washington as he motions out, can still catch the football very well the backfield.
They go empty. Martinez can run it himself. Went high and came down with the score. They get the 2 points and they lead by 14. We talked about winning, and I always say winning is like a good deodorant, Dusty. It covers up a lot of stuff that stinks. And it's smelling pretty good for the Huskers when we come back.
It is a sea of red here at Northwestern, but it feels like you're in Lincoln, Nebraska. Nebraska fans are loud in crucial moments. They showed up early. They're chanting "Go Big Red," and I'm told in 2016 Northwestern had to switch to a silent cadence at home because of the Husker faithful guys.
Wow, Molly. So the noise was that loud, Dusty? Have you ever heard of anything like that or seen it?
Husker Nation, they roll deep, man. They roll deep. One of the best one of the best fan bases in all college football. When I played at Oklahoma, I had a chance to play in Lincoln twice. We played there in 2005. We wind up beating Nebraska in a close game. It was 27-24. And these fans gave us a standing ovation to the point they're cheering for us, yelling, "No, my number 94, you're a heck of a player." And I'm thinking, what's going on? I just think, I mean, they travel well, they support their program, but really some of the best fans in all of college football.
And they are being rewarded with a great performance, perhaps the team's first win of the season. Thorsen completes it out of the 30-yard line. Fessler. That's his first catch of the ball game. Still plenty of time left, down 2 touchdowns. We've got to get to work quickly, though, against a Nebraska defense in the big picture, which has been the story of this game. That pass complete at the 40. And Skowronek stepped out of bounds. And up for the first down, though. We'll get coming up a little later at 3:30 Eastern on the other side of this. Oregon number 17 against Washington. Thorsen behind his receiver, incomplete for Bolt. And it'll be second down and 10. You know, Thorsen had arguably his worst game of the year against Akron about 4 weeks ago. Threw a couple of pick sixes, had a fumble in his own end zone for an Akron score. But to see him come back from that and play well in the ensuing games is a big reason why they're in a position to do some good things. They got to get to work here, though. Pressure coming by Nebraska. Thorsen caught by Nagel. And Nagel, with no one between him and the end zone, scores.
Right to the pass. Holding. Defense, number 24. That penalty decline, result of the play, touchdown.
61 yards for the touchdown. And Northwestern strikes quickly to answer the previous touchdown by the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Well, Jonesy, you mentioned Clayton Thorsen and his poise, right? To be able to shake off bad plays. He showed poise in the pocket. Nebraska dials up a blitz. They're going to get it. It's going to get home. He's got to throw the football off his back foot. And he finds his favorite target, Flynn Nagel.
That was a big and timely touchdown by Northwestern. A career-long reception. Fits his team back in it.
Special connection between Clayton Thorsen and number 2, Flynn Nagel. He beats man-to-man coverage once again. Excellent job tracking the football. And then it's heels to the field as Northwestern gives us a ball game late in Evanston.
Beautiful day for college football here on a Saturday afternoon in Evanston, Illinois. The temperature right around 50 degrees, sunny. Slight wind coming off of Lake Michigan. Weather at the top of the hour by Mark Jones and Dusty Dvorak. 12.5 minutes to go here in the fourth. On the return, Missouri. Whoa. Here's Washington. They strung it out nicely. He's pushed out of bounds at the 32 by Trey Williams.
Here's the strength coach from yesterday.
How can you tell?
Well, he's gunned up, isn't he? Man.
Dude is swole. Washington out of the backfield showing off his receiving skills.
Martinez's pass is
12 minutes to go. Third down coming up. Third and short.
Zigbo in the game. Picked up several short yardage situations throughout the afternoon. 2 tights, heavy personnel in the game for Nebraska.
Behind a good offensive line that's doing a really nice job today. Zigbo. Boy, that's going to be close. I'm not sure that he got it. That spot with the right foot. If it's there, it's going to be a little bit short. But I'm sure they'll measure anyway.
Yep.
Take a look at it with our line in it. Nice job at the point of attack. Northwestern winning the line of scrimmage. I don't see how they could say he crossed our line. And here's something to think about too. Nebraska's really struggled on 4th and short this year. 1 of 9 on the season for 4th down, one of the worst in college football.
So now you wonder if you go for it or not. Looking for your first win of the season. You're up by 7 points.
I think you got to punt the ball. I think this is the right call by Scott Frost. As much as you'd like to say, hey, this is Nebraska, we've run the football.
He disagrees with him.
Well, he shouldn't disagree with him. You got to punt the, I mean, for the most part, I know that your defense just gave up a long touchdown, but you played relatively well all afternoon long. The last thing you can do is allow Northwestern a short field and the opportunity to tie this game up.
Riley Lee's back in his own 15-yard line.
Fans always want to go for it, Jonesy.
I know.
Until they don't get it, and they say, why'd you go for it?
Isaac Armstrong going to punt from his own 30. We're going to let it run down a little bit. Armstrong, a line drive punt that takes a very fortuitous bounce for Nebraska inside the 10-yard line. And now it's time for that defense to get a strong back, much like they've done for most of the game. Back after this. 1st and 10 for Northwestern. At the end zone, Thorsen into traffic, almost picked off at the 15, intended for Cameron Green. All right, Cassidy. Thorsen underneath and juggled and complete to Skoranek. And some great speed down the sidelines. Out to the 35-yard line. Got those shoulders north-south, Dusty, and got some good yak.
Excellent concentration by Skoranek. Across the middle of the field on a shallow cross. So ball's actually thrown behind him. Watch the concentration as he goes back, bobbles it, keeps his eyes on the football, brings it to his chest as he hits the sidelines for a big gain.
Antonio Reed a little shaken up down on the field for Nebraska. Thorsen in traffic and picked off. Coming back the other way, Trey Neal. Off the bobble from Flynn Nagel and a huge turnover for Nebraska.
We've seen Clayton Thorsen several times today throw the ball behind his intended target. It hasn't cost him to this point, but in the biggest moment of the game, it cost Northwestern mightily. Ball's thrown behind Nagel. He tries to get one hand on it. Bobble and Trey Neal in perfect position to get a crucial interception and takeaway to this Nebraska defense. How about Trey Neal, by the way? Grad transfer, was at UCF, played for Scott Frost, wanted to follow him here to Nebraska, played for a prestigious program like the Huskers in a big-time play here late in this game.
They're going to run it into the boundary. That was Washington. Right down at about the 33-yard line. 9:15 to go. Northwestern was able to hang on late from out in front last week at Michigan State. A different story this week here in the fourth quarter.
Now the defense really has to come up big to stop.
Martinez on a predetermined quarterback run. A nice surge between the center and the right tackle.
It was basically a quarterback ISO that last play. They used the tight end as a fullback, lead up, big gaping hole once again. A nice pickup by the quarterback.
Martinez underneath, complete at the 17-yard line.
Martinez's pass is complete.
Nice little scoop. Gain of 7 yards on the play. That was number 83, Brian Reimers.
Pushing outside by the cornerback Trey Williams. Easy pitch and catch for Adrian Martinez.
Second and 3, Martinez, Spielman, and Spielman close to the first down. All right, Cassidy, and Washington collected the bobbled ball and took the handoff and got the first down. There was a missed tackle by Jared McGee that helped.
The safety Jared McGee, typically quality tackler, misses a golden opportunity. Fumbled snap, ball's on the ground. Washington just tries to make a play. Talk about making something out of nothing. Disaster averted by a true freshman picking up the ball, making a play.
Nebraska goes empty. Quarterback run. This time nowhere to go. Pushed out of bounds. That's going to be a loss on the play. Back at the 16. Montre Hardage pushing him out of bounds for a loss of 2. Under 7 minutes to go. The clock working against Northwestern. Scott Frost's team looking fanatically, frantically for its first win of the season.
Looking to avoid going 0-6 for the first time in 129 years of Nebraska football.
Martinez with all day into the end zone and incomplete. Tried to hit Spielman, overshot him, but he was open for a moment.
Excellent protection by the offensive line for Nebraska, giving him plenty of time.
You'd have to go back to 1945, the last time Nebraska started 0-5. I think our producer Kim Belton covered that game.
Yeah, he did. He's aged well, Jones. He's aged very well. Hey, by the way, just a reminder, the kicker for Nebraska has already missed an extra point and a field goal, so they're looking for 6, not 3.
Yeah, good call. 3rd and 12. They're going to play it conservative, handing it off to Washington. A little bit of a surprise, perhaps. So now 4th down coming up. And Scott Frost with that freshman kicker Barrett Pickering coming onto the field, well within his field goal range. He missed one from 45 a little bit earlier, though, as well as that extra point. This one will come from 34 yards out. 4 for 8 on the season. Pickering knocks it through the pipes. Picked the right time to make it with 5:41 to go, increasing the lead to 10. 5:41 away from victory number 1 for the Husker Nation. On the phone. Big Ten season is starting to take a little shape and form now. Northwestern with some work to do, down by 10.
They've got to move the football, and right now Nebraska's having too much success on their defense. So
1st and 10. Underneath again, Jalkeel Bowman.
I think Pat Fitzgerald just felt we have to get a first down right here if we want to have any chance of winning this football game. His team came through.
2nd and 6 Northwestern on the 45-yard line.
Jalkeel Bowman split to the top of your screen, man coverage. Thorsen looks his way. He's going to dial it up again. Incomplete, but that's going to be a flag. He was working against Boodle.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Attic, first down.
Second PI of the day for Boodle. Looks very similar. Too much contact down the field. Man-to-man coverage, going to run with the wide receiver. Never gets turned around. Contacts the receiver. Easy call by both officials. Very similar to the same play he made earlier at Drew Laundrie.
That's a 6th penalty against Nebraska today. Northwestern doesn't have any called against them. Underneath, complete. And another first down. Anakoa with the reception, his first one of the day. Picked up 14 yards. 1st and 10.
Quality pocket presence by Clayton Thorsen, moving his feet, buying a little bit of time and waiting for his running back to get open.
Little blitz coming off the edge. Thorsen gets rid of it. And that's going to be grounding. It did not go beyond the line of scrimmage.
Number 1 is in the area. 2nd down.
Oh, okay, there was a receiver in the area.
Anakoa was standing about 3 feet from where the ball hit the ground. Heads up play by Clayton Thorsen just to get rid of the football. No one accounted for Giff for 14. Trey Neal off the edge, brought the safety blitz. He gets it in the vicinity of Anakoa.
It was on the ground, but nonetheless close. 2nd and 10. Thorsen down the sidelines. Looked like he was trying to throw that back shoulder fade, incomplete from McGowan. Working against Lamar Jackson. 3rd and 10. 4:04 to go.
And identify where number 2 Flynn Nagel is.
Yeah, there is.
Seems like anytime they needed a big play in these moments, he's been the guy to go get it.
Thorsen comes back that way. Surveys, now trying to take off. The ball comes loose. It looks like he threw it with his left hand.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. Number 1 is in the area.
Anakoa again in the area. So no grounding call against Thorsen.
Start play clock.
Once again, a heads-up play by Clayton Thorsen. 94, Khalil Davis had a nice day today getting after the quarterback. Switches hands, throws it with his left.
Here we go, 4th and 10. Play clock at 14.
No high safety. They're showing pressure. See if they bail out when they come. They're coming.
Thorsen given time. And there's his guy down to the 10, complete. The deuce, Flynn Nagel with the reception, and they keep drives alive.
Eric Shenander, he dials it up, man. He brings everything in the kitchen sink. The pressure gets there, but Clayton Thorsen stands strong in the pocket, and he finds his go-to man once again, beating man-to-man coverage. It's Flynn Nagel.
Thorsen back to pass again. Pass caught down to the 7-yard line. That was Skowronek again. Boodle with the catch. Thirteenth play of the drive. Thorsen sacked back at the 13-yard line by Luke Gifford again. Number 12, maybe their best overall player, and off the field, just unbelievable, really growing as a leader on that defense.
I thought Clayton Thorsen had J.J. Jefferson. I thought he had him, but he didn't throw the football. Or see Gifford come clean. Nobody touches him. I thought he had J.J. Jefferson. He just didn't pull the trigger.
On 3rd and goal, Thorsen over the middle. Incomplete. And that wasn't even close.
Got to kick it this time. Got to kick it this time. I know that they're 2 for 2 on this drive for 4th down, both 4th and 10s. But now you are definitely in field goal range. Okay, I think you feel much better about where this placement of the ball is than you did earlier. So I agree with this decision to kick the field goal, make it a one-possession game, trust your defense to get the stop.
Looking by in to attempt this field goal. 31 yards out, missed earlier from 42. They need this one. It's that simple. And he responds in kind. So it's a 7-point game with 2:27 to go. Can Nebraska close it out and earn their first win? Northwestern's defense needing to come up with a stop here on this next possession.
They got all 3 timeouts. How about this?
Onside kick. It looks like they're lining up for one here. Wow, they go for the onside kick, get the bounce, but recovered by Nebraska at the 47-yard line by Luke Gifford. Didn't quite get the carom or bounce that they would have desired, you would think, from the 47-yard line of Northwestern. Nothing doing on 1st down as Zigbo will lose a couple of yards. And anticipate a timeout coming here by Northwestern, and they call it.
Northwestern.
It's the Nebraska team literally learning how to win as we watch this afternoon. Martinez hands it off to his tailback to Zigbo again. And nothing doing again. And Northwestern going to burn another timeout with 2:16 to play.
Timeout. Northwestern. It's their second charge. 30 seconds in length.
3rd and 10. They're going to hand it off to Spielman, who makes it to the 44-yard line. So 4th down, they'll punt here. Miller making the tackle.
Northwestern.
And Northwestern
third and final charge.
burns its final timeout.
In length.
They got the stop they needed. Exactly what they wanted. Out of timeouts now and forcing Nebraska to punt the football. Going to be backed up on their own end more than likely.
Isaac Armstrong, the Cornhusker punter. He only used up 15 seconds in those 3 plays. So in that sense, a little bit of a win for Pat Fitzgerald in validation. See if Isaac Armstrong can pin them inside the 20-yard line here. Riley Lee's back there standing at his own 10. Anything beyond the 10, he's going to let it bounce over his head. Armstrong with an end-over-end punt. Oh, you couldn't have done it better with a 9-iron all the way down to the 1-yard line, Dusty. That is an MVP punt by Isaac Armstrong.
9-iron, that was a sandwich. It's like a Phil Mickelson sandwich. Pull that thing back. Wow. Impressive. That's
43 yards. Had it gone 44, it wouldn't have been as good. So 2:02 to go. They've got 99 yards to go. Okay, I'll give it to you. Sandwich.
Yeah. That might even be a 60 degree. Look at this thing. spin back. Excellent execution by the Nebraska punt team. A long way to go for Northwestern to tie this thing up.
Thorsen, the senior, pulls the trigger. Incomplete, intended for Cameron Green. And we have a flag. Might be roughing the passer in the end zone. A Nebraska player on the sidelines.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer with the blow to the head. Defense number 96. 15-yard penalty for the previous time. Automatic first down.
Boy, that's a costly penalty this late. Carlos Davis, the culprit. Under 2 minutes to go. Thorsen. Incomplete at the 18-yard line, intended for Solomon Vault onto the backfield. Boy, this defense for Nebraska has really acquitted itself well today. 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Edric Young with excellent coverage on the running back out of the backfield. Nowhere for Clayton Thorsen to go with the football down the field.
Skoranek in motion. Pass complete at the 22-yard line. Number 19, Riley leads. We have a lot of underneath stuff. At some point, you got to take a shot. 3rd and 5.
We'll work some routes toward the sideline so you can get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Thorsen with time. Pass caught. And a 1st down. That's Nagel out at the 33. No timeouts remaining. 1:21 to go.
It's 3rd down. You need a play. Who do you go to? Nobody else than Flynn Nagel. Wow. What day he's had.
Their leading receiver. Clock running. Complete. Nagel again. Brought down immediately by Deontay Williams. A 9-yard gain.
We got to speed this up, Jones. They're taking way too much time. We're running out of clock, man. They got to go much faster.
Not showing the urgency you would think with time running at 40 seconds to go. Thorsen got his man. Flag down at the 45. Nagel pushed out of bounds at about the 32.
I think it's going to be interference on 24, Aaron Williams. There's a lot of contact as that pass was delivered, and Flynn Nagel gets open.
Holding. Defense. That penalty decline. Results in play. First down.
Wow, they're in business.
Slot fade. If Flynn Nagel's working in the slot, he's just going to run a fade, and it's man-to-man coverage with Aaron Williams, and Aaron Williams has to grab him and hold on because Nagel's running past him.
32-yard gain. Now 1st and 10 from the 32. Got him open. Caught. 1st and goal from the 5. Skoranek. With 25 seconds to go. No timeouts remaining. Threatening. Do they ground it here? They will. They'll spike it. And stop the clock with 17 seconds to go. Clayton Thorsen poised in the pocket.
Start the play clock.
Huge throw over the middle on the post to Skoranek. Big target at 6'4", goes up and gets it. Handles the hit. Man, we got action, partner.
Little blitz coming. Thorsen caught. Touchdown, Northwestern Jefferson. Wow, what a comeback. They're an extra point away from tying this game. And we are knotted at 31. After that onside kick by Northwestern, they appeared to be in dire straits, in big trouble. Hopelessness seemed to be abound everywhere. What a turnaround.
Clayton Thorsen, the senior, they needed some big plays and big throws, and man, did he come up with them as he finds a true freshman, J.J. Jefferson, full extension up, and he gets into the end zone. It's homecoming, and man, they're loving it here in Evanston.
Wow. And we talked about the fact that a team like Nebraska, winless, coming in 0-5, learning how to win is the most difficult part. They had this one and let it slip, as much as Northwestern came back to win it, though. 9 seconds to go. Martinez going to take a knee, and we're going to go into overtime. Free football, folks. Northwestern vehemently proclaimed they were ready to protect this house. We'll see how they protect it on the other side. More from Evanston after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Overtime, folks, coming up.
Here's the other thing with Nebraska. You know, they haven't won yet. They haven't felt that with this football team. You know, what's the mindset? Is that you know, that fear creeping in the back of their mind? Is that shadow of doubt starting to creep in? We're going to find out here as this thing unfolds in front of us.
Martinez on the field for Nebraska's offense. 1st and 10, Ozigbo in the backfield. Spielman in motion. Now sets in the slot. It's going to be Ozigbo on 1st down. Picks up about 2.5. Brought down by Miller on the play. 2nd down and 7. Still been a pretty quiet day for Stanley Morgan Jr., number 8. Spielman has been a little bit more involved.
Got to give Montre Hardage a lot of credit on that. He's been duty on Stanley Morgan all day.
Great point. Martinez gets it out on the edge to Ozigbo. Made a nice move. And no longer can we say Ozigbo doesn't make guys miss. About a yard short of the 1st down. Got a good block from Jack Stahl.
And tight ends outside on that swing screen. Jack Stahl springs Ozigbo for a nice pickup.
3rd and short. And there was some movement on the right side of that offensive line.
False start. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Scott Frost, the head coach of Nebraska, has been repeating over and over, we can't commit penalties. That's what's killing us. And with that, they'll move it back. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
You go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6 in this moment. Such a costly mistake by the right guard, Bo Wilson.
Spielman in motion. It's going to be Spielman. Good open field tackle by Trey Williams. He broke down and made a nice tackle on the play. So 4th down coming up.
Not good. Fantastic tackle in the open field. It's J.D. Spielman, man. This guy can make anybody miss in a phone booth. Breaks down, comes to balance, wraps up, and he gets Spielman down. Huge tackle to set up 4th down. This just shows right here how much they don't trust their field goal kicker, I would say, going for it.
Pickering on the sidelines. 4th down. Got to get to the 15. They fumbled it. Bad snap. Martinez going to try and make something happen. And he's picked off in the end zone. It falls apart for Nebraska as Pace makes the interception. So now Northwestern, the pressure off, able to hold defensively.
First it was a false start on 3rd and 1. Seton moves it back to 3rd and 6, and now it is a bad snap. On the ground, Tanner Farmer, he snaps and steps, doesn't focus on getting the ball to the quarterback, and it's just a scramble drill for Adrian Martinez trying to make a play. I still go back. I'm surprised they didn't kick the field goal. Again, now that makes them 1 for 10 on 4th down this season. Northwestern in prime position to steal this game.
Thorsen hands it off. They haven't run it much. Solomon Vault that time got a couple of yards on the play. Their running game has been largely silent here this afternoon. They haven't run the ball that frequently. A total of 31 yards on the ground, matching the number of points they have on the board. 2nd and 8.
Northwestern needs to get some yards because their field goal kicker, though he made one earlier, he's shaky as well.
Nagel in motion on the jet sweep. He takes it, cuts it upfield, and makes it about to the 20. So it'll be 3rd and 5.
Thorsen's pass is complete to Clayton Nagel. Tackle by David Young, the second.
Don't forget, folks, coming up after this game, Oregon and Washington, a big Pac-12 tilt. 3rd and 5.
Well, it looks like they're playing for the field goal. Big personnel, 2 tight ends. Flynn Nagel is not in the game. All indications it's going to be a run or quarterback just centering the ball. Run to the left, get the ball centered.
Green in motion. You're going to run it to the right side. That was Vault, so it'll be on the right hash. 4th and 4. Luckenbach coming in to try and win the game for Northwestern and notch their first home win of the season on homecoming weekend.
Attempted his first field goal in college today.
Here it is for the win. Luckenbach got it. Northwestern with its first home win on homecoming. A stirring, compelling, and riveting comeback by Pat Fitzgerald's Northwestern Wildcats. After the onside kick, it looked like they were finished. Conversely, for the first time in school history, Nebraska falls to an ignominious 0-6. Thorsen brought his team back for the win. The final 34-31. Coming up next, more college football on ABC and ESPN2. Most will see Washington, Oregon. The rest of the country, UCF, Memphis. Check local listings for the game in your area. On homecoming weekend, for Molly and Dusty, I'm Mark Jones saying so long from Evanston.